Hello, 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 folks. Welcome back to Holding Space. Melinda Zapone and Enya. Everyone needs you always if you're on Spotify or YouTube. If you are coming to us January 25th, 2026, you are snowed in just like me. And I thought it was a great time right before my workshop this evening to reach out to all of you to talk about a really important concept: supporting humility and letting go resolutely. And you all know, if you are a regular listener, and if you're not, I encourage you to look through all the posts of the past 2.5 years. It might even be three. Who's counting? I'm just producing on the toolbox approach and the phases of healing. Once again, not because I invented healing, but I have been so dedicated to it as a professional and a person that I've just really learned the truth that to stay in a healing journey means you have to organize it, and you kind of have to be humble that there are phases to it and tools for it. So let's get into the post: supporting humility and letting go resolutely. Taking life as trying to do, get, or be something. And just humbly one day you realize that trying is not you at all. Life has become all try. You're trapped inside of effort. And resolutely letting go is a practice. That's what I'd like to talk about today. And so, once again, if you're on the East Coast of the United States and reading this or listening or viewing this on the day of our latest snowstorm, or you can relate to the concept of snowed in, you are, like me, humbled by the truth of it. To look outward in this moment at a car that won't go anywhere or a sky that is white and filling the sidewalks and roads from any sort of passage is humbling. It doesn't matter your age, race, ethnicity, orientation, or pronoun. Days like these are confronting. None of the familiar doing can happen. Since writing the book, You Are Not Broken, with the byline, break free from a fixing yourself mindset with the toolbox approach, I've tried to stay true to its opening concept that brokenness is a feeling, not a finality, and that it is an invitation to look inward. This inward glance is not the usual kind. It's not thinking about your life. It is literally insight, inward seeing things. So when the outward glance during a snowstorm has given you that snowed in mentality, I propose that it is an invitation to look inward. Humility is a key ingredient to looking inward, not trying. To know your life, trying to be, get, or do something has to be recognized as a different you, possibly not the one who needs help when life gets hard. When we want to work on ourselves, even when we don't, but we must, we miss the support we need for humility and resolutely letting go of this other self. What if snowed in days are invitations to explore the internal you? Surprisingly, a man named Carl Jung has always been able to quote things easily to help me understand myself. I'm hearing the snowplow go by right now. Life can be like that. Someone you've never known or met is guiding you in some way. That's the opportunity today. Let words speak to that inner guidance system as you read, listen, or watch this. It's not me writing or speaking to you, it's you. It's always you. Let go to this resolutely. You are your guide, and the sense of me as a therapist or a writer, and we as a community of subscribers are all supporting the humility it takes to look inward and receive your vision, your clarity from a different source. So it is with guidance from many quotable, oops, I'm making a little typo here, from many quotable writers in psychology, philosophy, healing, and spirituality that fuel me to write something simply too. What if it's that your vision will only become clear when you can look into your own heart? What if looking outside makes us think too much about snowed in and what to do with all of that? What if it makes us less present to ourselves to prepare, plan, think ahead, and that those who look outside get trapped while those who look inside awake? So let me talk to you a little bit about humility defined. First, I want us to attempt to feel this word as a way of knowing its meaning. So take some time to sound it out like this: humility. And once more, humility. Notice the hum sound underneath the heart. Hum. And how the other sounds dropping down lower in succession. The word, when sounded out, lands first in your heart and chest, then lower down the rib cages, then in the belly button area, and ends just below. Humility. I propose that there is a science to it. The way this word sounded out can slow you down and tap you into the column of you, the energy center from the heart to your sacral. For many of us, this is the motor of our existence. Human design theory, the chakra system, polyvagal theory, and the neurobiological science of the nervous system all speak to how information comes into the organs, cells, nerves, skin, and musculature of this area of your body and tells the brain how to respond. When the information from the outside of us is placed on pause through Mother Nature or our own resolute letting go of outside of us, we can listen, feel, access, and see ourselves. At times, as a trauma therapist, helping people resource inside themselves so they can feel safer remembering things, I will call this orienting to safety. More importantly, over time, it's orienting to the safety of yourself through humbly realizing nothing outside of you can tell you more than when you're safe, secure, and ready to connect inward. So while humility can be defined many ways, today we talk about supporting humility and letting go resolutely. We define it as a skill of choosing your own capacity to know things, recognizing the limitations of outward viewing, judging, knowing, doing, and achieving, and coming to simple truths about ourselves. Humility in this definition is not easy, it's hard. We may face resistance, and that is why it's a skill that takes practice. Having nowhere to go but inward takes practice. Accepting it takes patience. Belief building that you are your own safety is not going to happen overnight, especially when our reactive natures are to point outward at the things that snow us in. Some things about moving resolutely. So later on today, I'll be hosting a free workshop based on a post from the first week of January 2026 on being resolute versus making a resolution. That article and the free workshop later on today are mediums for reaching people for workshops and intensives. And if you go over to Substack or Enya, Everyone Needs You Always on Spotify or YouTube, you'll see the links in the show notes and here on Substack to those resources. And it's also to provide clarity on the healing journey, whatever methods and tools people choose to combine. Moving resolutely in life is first and foremost a movement of the mind with a resolution. The mind is not one thing, and many of us move in our lives like we move in our minds with a resolution. I know I did. When I was writing my book, a part of me was thinking, I can't have wasted so much time. This book has to matter and mean something. I had a resolution to finish it, but then what? What was the deeper meaning? When I got to launch week, I felt strange, more hidden than before, when I believed finishing would matter. The concept was to unburden myself, break free as a therapist who cannot reveal their own story, and come to share the tools I knew about in a new way with more authenticity and integrity. What I realized that book launch week was that when I was done with the book, I was in like a surface level kind of movement forward, but I was not done with myself. I was not more accomplished in myself. I wonder what what was I what was I doing? What was the shift? Did I miss something? It didn't feel great, but I hit the humility wall with nowhere to go and I saw inward. My other mind said facing things. Keep resolute in facing things is what it meant. The conscious mind said, write a book that's valuable. The subconscious mind said, something doesn't feel right. And the deeper unconscious mind is what I needed to tap into. It is that mind that started thinking of the free workshop and writing about being resolute. I started to imagine all these resolutions people might have. I want to stop attracting narcissists and heal. I want to really focus on managing my diabetes through diet and exercise. I want to say no to speak up for myself. I want to be the parent I needed. I want to start doing the things I keep putting off. My deeper mind started to speak to me. What if we all just started to become resolute with I am? I am healing. I am focused. I am vocal. I am the parent I needed. I am dedicated. All those resolutions could be transformed into resolute I am. What if anxiety fuels resolution and calm is not the absence of anxiety, but self-trust in being resolute about what you are? Can you really not be there yet if you are in the state of focused I am in the simplest resolute way without all the extra words of the resolution sentences? I wanted to be an author. Being an author may not last if I don't write another book. Could I still call myself a writer? Does it matter? You can decide as you witness what comes up inside as you read, watch, and listen. However, I find that resolutely letting go, supporting humility, and focusing on I am are steps that never feel more real or more true right now on a snowed in day than ever. So follow along, moving from wanting to being. These are some I am thinking practices. I'm going to do a guided sequence you can move through. It's somatic, narrative, and gently invitational. It's designed to help you encounter your inner world with humility rather than ambition. So first we pause like we all have to do in this snowstorm moment. If you are like me, you don't need to imagine this today. If not, imagine you can't go anywhere. You can only be where you already are. You are homebound in a snowstorm. So you're just going to practice sitting comfortably and take 3 slow breaths in, focusing on the mouth closed. It's in through the nostrils. This slows things down more than mouth open and enhances the boundary between you and outside of you. And then you just say, or you can just think softly to yourself, nothing needs to be fixed or achieved right now. Nothing needs to be fixed or achieved right now. Let the nervous system settle into the felt reality of just staying. Take another breath in, shrugging your shoulders up to the ears on the exhale. Just let the staying fall deeper into you. Now we're going to notice the resolution voice, the I want to. Resolution often comes from a part that feels insufficient. When we think I want to, we are in not being something. Emotionally, this is fear or shame state, even if subconsciously. So just practice right now. Think of a resolution or personal goal you hold right now. Where did it come from? And then is this voice trying to prove something? So just take a moment to think about a resolution or personal goal you hold right now, where it comes from, and is this voice trying to prove something? Consider the concept of having an internal family system inside of you. This internal family lives in your mind. They are different personalities or voices. Some manage and organize life, some respond to it with urgency, some are pushed down and hold vulnerable stories and feelings. Which of these 3 parts of your mind's inner dialogue are speaking to you? Manager parts, firefighter impulsive parts, or the exiled vulnerable parts you push down? When you think of that resolution or personal goal you hold right now, and where did it come from? And is this voice trying to prove something? Think of those 3 parts of self. Now, invite humility without shame. Even if you're not in your best moment of life, having nowhere to go, no goal to move to is not a dead end. Humility is not collapsing, it's softening. It's stepping out of proving and into truth telling. So, to practice this, you kind of whisper internally, who I am in this moment is arriving to my awareness. I just have to witness what comes up and feel that difference versus when you're like thinking, how do I solve this problem or how do I get through today? Identify the truth underneath I am. Here we replace anxious wanting or striving reason with the being reason. So look at your original resolution. Let's say, for example, I want to start doing things I keep putting off. What is the truth beneath the I want? And now you invite yourself to move to potential I am reflection. So, using that example, I am someone who values keeping promises to myself. I am capable and motivated to start. I am already here in this activity. This is important. I am statements must emerge organically, not as affirmations you force. Like, I will go to the gym tomorrow. The I am motivated. I am in this activity. Now we move the I want to the I am in less like transformation. You'll have to be more on your own here, but by now I think you're ready. I invite you to start. The steps will guide you, as will the kind of fill-in portion I prompt you to do. This is all inward seeing. There's no wrong way to engage or experience this. So just think about or write down. That would be really important if you can get something to write with. Write the current resolution that came to your minds. Then you'd want to identify the core value beneath it, very personal core value, and then transform the sentence. So I give you a kind of a fill in opportunity here. I want to fill in the blank. And then transformationally, I am someone who fill in the blank because fill in the blank. Now, for me, when I realize like I am someone who writes because I am healing and I guide healing, that was such a relief to me. Like, I really am that. Regardless of whatever happens, I am someone who writes because I am healing and I guide healing. This deepens the identity, origin, and purpose. It really did for me. And now we want to anchor the identity shift. This will help you move from being to embodiment, which is the essence of the resolutely letting go skill in the title of the post. You're going to practice choosing one I am truth that feels warmest, not strongest on this cold day. So then you're going to complete this, okay? When I'm being this version of me, I tend to, right? So when I said I am a writer because I am healing and I guide healing, when I'm being in this version of me, I tend to listen more to myself and others. I tend to breathe more fully. I tend to stop comparing myself and I feel my purpose. Right? So consider that transformation. When I'm being in this version of me, I tend to what? And you really understand the kind of transformative power of I am. Now, another thing I kind of, invite you to consider here is micro integration. Here, the focus is on micro, meaning small. No grand action steps, just small congruencies. Ask yourself, like, what's one tiny act today that aligns with who I already am? And I really do mean small here. If you've established an I am message clearly for yourself, you can link it to your humility through micro integration. Every time you do the micro integrations, your system will know you're in I am. So these could be small, a slower consumption of that mouthful, enjoy chewing, tasting, feeling fed. One moment of eye contact with your face in the mirror and like wink back. One intentional breath before speaking, or staying on the edge of your bed before lifting yourself, honoring your ability to rise. If you link your I amness with these micro integrations, you'll feel it. And that'll be kind of like a musculature that you come to know that you can link these smaller things with your larger purposes in life. Humility turns being into practice. And I end this time with you, or in ending this time with you, I leave you with a gentle decision about which quotes work best for your humility and resolutely letting go. Whatever you still have that weighs on you, it's not all absolved by an article, movement, therapist, self help concept, medication, or lifestyle change. Our largest letting go is that it's all a healing journey. Everything that happens heals you if you learn to look inward and repeatedly. So I want you to build this I am capacity. I want it so much for you. And I'm just going to share with you some quotes to consider. The snowstorm quote: when there is nowhere left to go, the truth has space to arrive. The humility quote: humility is not shrinking, it's returning quietly to who you already are. The identity shift quote: the moment you stop trying to become, you meet the part of you that has been being all along. The inner resolution quote: real change begins the moment your resolution becomes recognition. I already am the one who can live this way. The presence quote: what you are seeking from the future is waiting for you in the present you. And the essence quote: you are not a project to complete, you are a presence to come home to. With that, guys, I'm going to sign off. Usually I sign off a different way with a lot of new support options, but I think I'm just going to be quieter today. You guys know we're here holding space. All of these articles have multiple things to click on and link to: the courses, the author's website, the support material. If you become a paid subscriber, look around, enjoy yourself, and stay snowed in. Heal on.